Hi there, everyone. In the past 24 hours, the cryptocurrency market has gone crazy. Bitcoin has been on the lead. But today, I want to talk about something else altcoins, XRP in particular. Because this is where things get interesting if you really want to get rich in crypto. Let's be honest. Bitcoin isn't going to make you rich by itself anymore. When it comes to XRP, things are very different. Look at this. Only 178 billion XRP have been sold, while $2.36 trillion worth of Bitcoin has been sold. Do you see the difference? XRP is worth a lot less now. That's exactly why this is such a great chance. Take a look at it this way. A lot less money needs to move into XRP than Bitcoin for prices to double, triple, or even quadruple. It's just math that works out in your favor. Here is something to think about. What if XRP got to the same market value as Bitcoin in the end? I'm not saying it has to end there, but think about what would happen if it did. It really shows how little XRP is worth compared to what it could be worth in the future. Also, why couldn't XRP's market value reach $2.36 trillion one day? I really think that XRP has a lot of room to grow from here. What do you know? The smart money knows this. They understand what's going on. Whales have bought $740 million worth of XRP in the last 2 days alone. Yes, $740 million. The info will be shown to you soon. But what was going on right before this huge group of whales? Pure fear. People were selling like crazy and going out of business all the time. But here's the fact that most people don't see. There's just not enough XRP out there for everyone who wants it at these prices. The price will go through the roof as more people, companies, and institutions throw money into crypto. I really think that in 10 years, people will look back at the price of XRP in 2025 and feel bad that they didn't get in when they could have. But by then, this chance will be gone for good. Bitcoin is worth $118,581 and XRP is worth $2.97 right now. After I posted my last video yesterday, Bitcoin kept going up all night, hitting as high as $119,285. Today, I'm going to talk in depth about XRP. But first, let me share what a few experts have to say about Bitcoin. A lot of people, even in the XRP community, have been talking about whether Bitcoin has already reached its peak. I get it. There is real worry out there. Look, I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't have a crystal ball, but let me tell you what I do know. I follow a lot of trustworthy experts, and the view that Bitcoin has already reached its peak is clearly not shared by most of them. The minority is right sometimes, but not most of the time. We'll just have to wait and see. Will the $124,000 mark for Bitcoin turn out to be the highest point? Could be. The good news is that this is important. It doesn't matter if Bitcoin has reached its peak, we can still have a crazy alt season. Alternate coins can still go on a face-melting rise, even if Bitcoin starts to fall from here. It's happened before. Naturally, I hope, along with you, that Bitcoin has one more steep run left in this cycle and goes much higher. That's how money works. More people are taking profits in Bitcoin as more money comes in. After that, all that money turns into coins. Large caps like Ethereum and XRP are at the top of the list. Mid caps follow, and finally small caps are at the bottom. That's when things get really cool. Hold on tight, because this ride isn't over yet. And since we're talking about chances, I need to stress something I talked about in my last video because it's worth saying again. Zcash is now 76% higher. When I last talked about this, it had gone up about 60% in 24 hours. We're now at 76%. What does this tell me? This is not at all bear market activity. At this point in the cycle, seeing coins explode like this is a huge sign. This is exactly what takes place before an alt season starts in full. However, I'm not going to say that it will happen today, tomorrow, or even next week. I don't have a crystal ball. But I know the trends because I've been here for a while. That's your sign when coins start popping off of the board for no apparent reason. Before alt season, that's what always happens. It's how people act. And we've seen this happen over and over again. I have something cool to show you. There was a post from Swiss Block. I already talked about this before the daily close, but it's important to do so again. The post was made yesterday at 1:27 p.m. They said a daily close above $117,200 opens the path to an all-time high. Well, guess what? We get it. It cost about $118,000 to close. Remember that the daily closes at 7 p.m. It was Central Time, and we smashed it. By the way, this is on-chain data from Swissblock. These guys do great work all the time. They're not a sketchy operation that pops up out of nowhere, and their research shows that Bitcoin is going up, which is great news for all crypto assets. However, I want to stress this point once more. It doesn't matter if Bitcoin has already reached its peak. Those of us who hold XRP are still in business, not even close. I'm still sure that the most likely thing that will happen is that a huge altcoin breakout will happen. We're still thinking about the chance of a gathering that melts our faces and wealth that changes our lives. Everything is coming together so well, and this is exactly what we've been waiting for. It's not smart to think otherwise. Then there's this post from 11:28 p.m. by chart expert Jelly, Wednesday. He wrote a few hours ago, "Good morning. Bitcoin locked in a very strong daily close, reclaimed the $118,000 resistance area, and closed above the September highs, averting the potential sweep. Very good start to quarter four. Send it higher." This is another analyst who thinks Bitcoin's best days are still to come. Let me make this clear. If you want to make the most money this market cycle, I don't think it makes sense to invest in Bitcoin right now. Okay, Bitcoin might work for you if you plan to dollar cost average over a very long time and ride through many market turns, getting both the highs and lows. But that's not what most people who watch this are trying to do, and it's not even close to being the right approach for this group. Right now, Bitcoin is not the best place to be if you want to get the most for your money. Furthermore, I really want huge amounts of money to pour into Bitcoin. It seems likely to happen. This is why. Much more money will flow into XRP and other altcoins in the long run if more people buy Bitcoin. I totally agree with that. Look at this. This is from Cantonese Cat, a chart expert. You are looking at Bitcoin that shows Bollinger Bands. These are the blue lines that you can see going above and below the price. The Bollinger Bands for XRP were something we talked about a lot in 2024. The key is here.